Okay, we're live here. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and season's greetings to everybody out there, all my friends. It's time for a special night. It is December 19th, 2025, and Nick the Record Lover here, also known as Encyclopedia Nick, is going to be sharing some of his most favorite Christmas records, singles, albums, and some great Christmas memories with you all. So come one, come all. Alley Cat is here first. Hello, Alley Cat. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope everything's going okay with you. Here's my new Christmas tree. New York Rangers Christmas tree. Lights up. It's got the New York Rangers hat on it. So I'm waiting to hear from everybody out there tonight. See if anybody can make it tonight to have our fireside music Christmas chat tonight, Friday night. A little windy out there. It's could say the weather outside is frightful. It's not snowing, but it could be frightful because it's windy out there. It's really windy out there tonight. Well, Allie, it's amazing we won in overtime last night. I didn't find out till this morning that the Rangers won 2-1 over St. Louis. I don't know how bad St. Louis is or how good the Rangers are right now. It's tough to watch them. It really is. But I'm up for a game. I'm up for a game in the springtime if we could all meet and go see a Rangers game. Hopefully, I won't have to mortgage my apartment to do it. Something to save up for the new year. So hope everybody's doing okay. And we're live here tonight at Nick the Record Lovers channel. It's a Christmas channel tonight. So I'd like to know tonight what is some of your favorite Christmas songs and albums that you remember listening to as a kid or now. Uh, Nicole, hey Nicole Lawson, how's it going? It's good to see you. How's everything? Hope everything's okay. Merry Christmas, Nicole. Good to see you here. Good to see everybody. Here's my Charlie Brown hat, even though you can't really see him. You know, here he is. Charlie Brown hat. Nicole, this is my new Christmas tree I just got a little while ago. New York Rangers. Christmas hat. Yeah, I was able to get that off of Bed Bath and Beyond. It was really nice. It was really nice to get it this year. So hope everyone's doing okay out there. And we get some people in here. Like I said, I'd like to hear what some of your favorite Christmas songs are or favorite Christmas albums. We're going to be looking at that tonight. And so, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Tell me something good. It's Friday night. It's the end of the week. Work some overtime today. So, what's going on? Anything? Let me know what's happening. Yeah, the wind is coming up out there. Yep. Not much going on. Okay. Okay. Good King Wenceslas looked down on the feast of Stephen. Watching the new Avatar movie. Oh, cool. That sounds good. That sounds good. Really nice. Really nice. I know about those films. I never watched them though. You got work tonight, so you're kind of keeping yourself awake. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're on the night shift tonight, huh, Allie? Yeah, I've done that before myself. I've done every shift every shift you could possibly imagine. I've worked. So that's what's been going on. So definitely thinking of switching to day shift. Yeah, I would recommend that. I would recommend that if you want to do it. If you have the ability, but not the ability, but the opportunity to do it, it would be good. It would be good to do that if you can. Yeah, we're still celebrating Christmas at work. We got the trees up. I brought in some chocolate peanut butter Santas. People brought in donuts. Had to have a look how much budget they put into the third movie, $400 million. Oh God, holy cow, $400 million. It's amazing, crazy. Well, here's a new gift that I got from a friend of mine at work. It's whiskey toast. It's whiskey toast body cream and lots of chocolates, all different chocolates. We got Hershey Kisses, Crackle, peanut butter cups, uh, Hershey chocolate, milk chocolate. It's great. Yeah, it sounds lush, all right. Hey, Whitney, how are you? Good to see you. How's everything? Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice what they do. We had a nice Christmas party this year too. It was the fifth this year, and they had a really big spread. And I won $60 worth of Red Robin gift certificates. You're wrapping gifts. Yeah, I got to go out tomorrow and shop a little bit. So you've heard of Hershey chocolate? Okay. Red Robin, yum. Yeah, you know what I love? I love their turkey burgers. You know, I don't do like an endless amount of fries, but I like their fries, but one helping is enough. I try to watch that. Sometimes I'll have a broccoli on the side of a burger instead of fries, but you know, $60 worth of Red Robin. And that, I won something last year too. Last year I won $150 worth of Amazon, and this year $60 worth of Red Robin. So yeah, broccoli is good, especially with a lot of butter on it. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love steamed broccoli. I like raw broccoli when it's salad. That's good. You always try to keep eating nice, eating good, drinking a lot of water. I was feeling under the weather last week. Oh man, it was a virus. But the doctor told me just eat some soft foods, drink a lot of soup, any kind of broth, drink water. Sadly, I'm not having Christmas dinner for the first time in my life. We're having a picky eat food like a spread. All right, so that's good. That's fine. It doesn't have to be the same thing every year. There's nothing wrong with a little variety. Nothing wrong with that at all. Raw is the best for sure, but the butter, yum. Yep. Oh, whoever didn't see this yet, this is a New York Rangers Christmas tree that I got. It's a pre-lit Christmas tree with the New York Rangers hat on it, and it says New York Rangers at the bottom. You could see that. Yeah. Finger foods. Yep. I'm not sure what we're doing with my family this Christmas yet. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what we're doing. I'm gonna see my mom. I know that. So finger foods. Yeah. Yeah. Probably sandwiches and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. Usually I like to eat turkey at Christmas or you know, it's okay. Maybe some pasta. It's all right. Try to cut down on that too. Um, all kinds of good stuff like that there. I want to do a nice baked fish dish. Yeah, Whitney, my family used to do the feast of the seven fishes. There's a friend of mine at work that gave me this gift that she's doing five fishes this year, not seven. She's doing five. Like she's doing shrimp and I think fillet, maybe cod, not bacalao. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a big fish dish myself. Yeah, sure, shrimp counts, Whitney. Yeah, sure it does. And there's bacalao, there's calamar, there's you know, what do you call mussels? You know, salmon prices are insane. Yeah, they are. They are. I'm not too keen on salmon though. It's got to have something in it for me to like it. I had salmon sushi once when I was in the Bahamas. That was good. That was tasty. But regular salmon, especially like a salmon steak, I'm like, I mean, I love lobster. If I could ever have lobster, that's like I love lobster. Um, you know, yeah, no salmon steak. No, I don't like that either. No, Whitney, where you coming from? Are you out of the U.S. or are you in? Yeah, crab counts. Yeah, yeah, sure it does. Hmm. Oh, you're in New York, Whitney? Oh, okay. I thought you were in England for some reason. Okay, you're in New York. Well, now, where in New York are you? I don't know in New York where you are. Oh, you're on Long Island. Okay, I was born in Long Island. I was born in North Shore Hospital, Long Island. Yeah, I was born there. Yeah, and then I lived in Jackson Heights after that. My family is from Astoria. My mom lived in Manhattan as a kid, and then she moved to Astoria. Yeah, the water is too cold. Oh my God, yeah. Nicole, now where Nicole? Now where are you, Nicole? You're in England or Australia? 50-mile-an-hour winds here today. Yeah, well, that's what's going on over here too. Yeah, we got wind going on over here, but they have a tendency to panic here when snow is in the northeast of England. Oh, okay, nice. So Nicole, I know you're a Beatles fan, right? Oh boy, yeah, it was windy today. This morning it was raining, but then it was windy. Yeah, northeast of England. I really would like to travel to England. I really would. I want to go to Liverpool. I want to see the yeah, nasty rain down here too. I think I'm supposed to get it. Oh, you only like Yellow Submarine? All right, that's okay. That's all right. Speaking of rain, Rain is a good Beatles song. That's my opinion, of course. I like the song Yesterday. Okay, that's good. That's nice. A lot of people's favorite. That's one of the most covered songs ever. Is Yesterday. It might be the biggest song that's been covered by a ton of people. Is Yesterday, and another one is Something that the Beatles did that George Harrison sang. Um, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The good ones. It's amazing what they did in 5 years, though. You know, actually 6 years if you want to count 63 to 69. You know, 70 they actually had an album come out, a couple of albums come out, but really by 70 they were personally they were apart. On paper they were still the Beatles, but they were done basically by 70. Yeah, no, I feel like I've heard a lot of Beatles songs, but some I may not have realized with them. Yeah, well, that's how I was growing up. I thought, yeah, yes, Yoko was still alive. She's born 1937. She can't be. That's impossible. She's 88 years old or 89, almost 89. Probably a few other songs I like, but can't remember what they sound like. Well, see, there was songs when I was a kid like Get Back. I thought it was Paul McCartney and Wings. I didn't think Get Back was the Beatles. Yeah, and it was. I thought that was Paul McCartney. I thought that was Paul McCartney and Wings, but it was a Beatles song. But John Lennon said, looking back on the song "Get Back," he said that was more like Wings than it was the Beatles. But it depends on what mood John Lennon was in when he talked about the group. So George Harrison went on record to say, if you don't like what John Lennon says right away, wait 15 minutes. That's what he said. How do I feel about Yoko? Not a fan, Whitney. I'm not a fan. I never was. No, I don't like her music. I don't think I was never a big fan. I don't think she's talented. I don't think she was talented. I think she was riding the coattails and landed where she landed, and then that was it. She didn't have any of the talent that John had or his son Julian. Sean, his second son, I don't really care for. So I really don't. It's nothing that I really would get crazy about. So Uptown Girl for me, when I grew up, I thought Westlife created that song. Oh, was Westlife? Is that is that a band? I feel Ed Sheeran's music is going the way the Beatles music did after they visited India. Huh, okay. Normally, I don't put Ed Sheeran in the same category as the Beatles, but okay. Westlife is like their version of Backstreet Boys. Okay. Now we're getting into the Backstreet Boys. Wow, we're playing six steps, like six steps to Kevin Bacon. Now we're playing six steps to the Backstreet Boys. Oh, lordy. But the people that call the Beatles a boy band, man, they got some learning to do. You can't call them a boy band. You can't call the Monkees a boy band. You know, sometimes they call the Beatles the first boy band, and they weren't a boy band. The Baconator, yeah, yeah. What's your cutoff year for music enjoyment? I like. How recent would you say you like? Oh, like how recent would you say? Well, I mean, there's songs that I like that came out in this deck in the new century. Uh, yeah, Sleepy Jean, Whitney. Sleepy Jean is Daydream Believer. That's where that lyric comes from. That's the name of it. Yeah. Well, with this century, it was hit and miss, Sally. I mean, it still is. I mean, one of the first songs I think I liked in the beginning of the 2000s was "Soak Up the Sun" by Sheryl Crow. Another one was the Afro Celt System featuring Peter Gabriel. It's a song called "When You're Falling." I like that one. Um, I don't know if this counts, but Blind Melon, "No Rain." I think that came out in this decade. I mean, in this century, I think it came out. It's more hit or miss, though, I have to say. But in the '90s, when I was doing radio at college, I liked Black Gold by Soul Asylum. I like that song. There was certain songs I liked, or Not Sleeping Around, and I'm not sure who that was by, but it was by an alternative band, alternative pop band. I like the Smithereens. I like their stuff. I thought they were good. Um, there were songs in the '80s that I never knew existed because In the 80s, I was too busy collecting everything from the previous 30 years. So, yeah, I love the Doors and I love the Cars. Yeah, I got the Doors. I got a lot of Doors albums. I just listened to Morrison Hotel last week, the other day. Great album, Morrison Hotel. Picked up a good copy of that. Yeah, Nicole. Yeah, that's called Daydream Believer. Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. Oh what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Yeah, I don't have an issue with what I listen to either. I don't. There are days I'll listen to more songs more than others. I have a huge collection, but there are some days I'll play certain things or, take a break from it or, I have so much of my collection. It's just crazy. But I'm a music guy. What can I say? Yeah, it's always fun to look around for new music. There's music that's not in the mainstream in America that should be. I mean, who's that? Elliott Smith that did the song for Good Will Hunting? Either or, I think was the name of the album. That was a song that was played at the end of Good Will Hunting when he's driving up to see his girlfriend at the end. A lot of different genres and subgenres to explore. Even if you don't like one, you might like another. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's groups like I was turned on to Steely Dan. I mean, they're from the 70s and 80s, but um there's a great group out there called the Beths, and they're Australian, and I was able to hear a live recording of it, and they are really good. Oh, it's a yodeling album. Okay, well, everybody's got different strokes for different folks. That's you like that stuff. I'm into psychedelic stuff like the Ultimate Spinach. That was like a psychedelic group that came out in the late '60s. I have this book. It's a coffee table book called Psychedelia, and there's a lot of groups I wound up buying. My music collection just went up like 3, 4 times with that because I was just experiencing different stuff. Oh, my morning jacket is going to be at the Great South Bay Music Festival. Wow. Okay. What kind of music is that? It's symphonic psychedelic. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know what I liked the early psychedelic of was Pink Floyd. I always liked their first album, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. I think that's like their best album because Sid Barrett's on it, and that was like the pop psych, the freak beat that they were doing. I like that. See Emily play, um, Arnold Lane, Candy in a Currant Bun, that kind of stuff. My favorite decade of the early 2010s, but mainly because those were my teenage years going through a lot. Usually hit me just right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My teenage years had a lot to do with listening to CBS FM 101.1 out of New York because my father played that station a lot. Even as a kid, I remember hearing it a lot. Um, WABC, WNBC, WNEW FM out of New York, 102.7. 102.7 WNEW and 92.3 K Rock and CBS FM 101.1 are like the three stations responsible for my collection. Of course, my dad turning me on all the music. My mom and dad turning me on to music at like the age of 2. So, it was Johnny Mathis. I heard a lot of. I heard the Bee Gees. I heard um, solo Beatles songs. "Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth" by George, "Photograph" by Ringo, "You're 16" by Ringo, um, Sonny and Cher out here. Are there any albums you feel should be collected now because you could see it being rare or wanted in the future? Uh, really, I can't say. I mean, when I go to my friend's record store, the prices are really up now. I mean, for common stuff. I mean, there is stuff he has in there that's like $60 for a sealed copy of which I got for 10. So I really, should be collected now. It depends on what you're into. I mean, I wouldn't say collect every Beatles album you can because every Beatle record is always out there. There's so many that they made, and if somebody overcharges you for a Beatle record, it's not right unless it's super super rare. But even if it is, I mean, I don't put out that kind of this stuff in my collection that's going on eBay or Discogs now for over hundreds of dollars, and I was lucky to get them at the prices that I got them. Because when I used to shop, I mean, really shop, they would price things to sell or they would give you deals on them. Now it's all money. It's all money. But I mean, when I go into my friend's record shop, it's like if you got cash, they give you a break. Like if they put it on your credit card, they can't help you with the price. But I've gotten some cool things in there for cheap prices, paying cash. You know, saw Billy Gibbons of Oz top a couple of years ago. What it was a great show. Also saw Slash with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Slash is amazing still. I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, Whitney. It's easy to pay things with cash. Instead of always taking out the card all the time. It's like it's a good way to do it. It really is. It's a really good thing, you know what I mean? When you can pay cash. I feel a lot of record shops aren't neighborhood shops anymore. No, Whitney, they're not. The only neighborhood shop I know is the one that opened in August. And you know what's funny? Well, not funny. I didn't really make a beeline to it when the place first opened because I really wasn't in much of a collecting mood at the time or buying any newer stuff. So yeah, it's very sterile. Yeah, you're right. They asked me, "Do you go to shows anymore, Nick?" I'm like, "I don't go to shows." No. Sometimes if I want like a gift at Christmas, like they just put out a deluxe edition of a Monkeys album with like 4 CDs and a 45 and a book and stuff like that. That I like. That I've been waiting for a while, and hopefully Santa Claus will get it for me this year. But I don't need to go out and come out with a stack of records. I mean, there are people that are older than me that are living in retirement homes and things like that. You know, and we're all going to be there one day. But it's like there's people I know that still will walk out of a place with like 10, 15 albums. And I don't do that. I don't think I ever did that. I don't think I ever came home with like 10 albums. Well, maybe I did, but they were like maybe $1 a piece. Maybe I'd spent like $10 like in one day at a show. Yeah, there was an album releasing. I was so excited for it. Only one shop was doing the midnight release. Right. And another thing too about Record Store Day, it's not as big of a deal as everyone thinks it is because I found out how Record Store Day actually works. Record Store Day, they say that something special is coming out, but it doesn't mean that the record store that they're sending it to is going to have a lot of copies of it. And it's first come, first serve. They don't hold things for people. They don't hold Record Store Day unless the stuff is left over and they still have from Record Store Day, like from 2021, 2022. That's how I bought one of my albums. That was like it's Record Store Day and it's on blue vinyl. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll go in there and see if they have that. And they did. I miss Cat's music from back in the day. Oh, is that a record store? I used to go to so many different stores as a kid. And that was just to listen to records, not really, collect them and say, okay, this is this is that. We had places when I lived in Bricktown, New Jersey, called Camelot Music. There was Disco Mat in New York. There was Sam Goody in New York. Yeah, and you could buy concert tickets there. Yeah, yeah, that was the same thing. You could buy concert tickets. Right. I used to go to places like Disco Mat. My father used to shop for me in New York from Disco Mat. Disco Mat, Sam Goody. When I lived in Edison, New Jersey, I used to go to Cheap Thrills in New Brunswick. There was a place in Vintage Vinyl and Ford's. That's gone. Yeah, Rap Tour tickets, $20 a pop. Yeah, right. Good old days. The early days, I should say. You know. Do you think ticket prices? No, sometimes I think it's because of greed. I think the artists do have a choice. I mean, I went to see Paul McCartney in Madison Square Garden. I paid, I think, about $115 to see him, but the seats were terrific. The seats were amazing. That what I paid for. They were like, I don't know, they were probably like not. I think it came to like $110 for the ticket. That's what it was. $110, $100, $110 for a ticket, and this is right around uh 9/11. I went in 2001, 2002, and people were complaining after the show that he did he should put some of that towards 9/11. It's too much money and all that. And McCartney said, I don't see anybody asking for their money back. So for a 2 hour show that was back in 2001 when he was 59 years old, it was an amazing show. And I saw Cirque du Soleil open for him. So that was like the best McCartney show I probably saw. I mean, the first one I saw in Giant Stadium was great. But when I saw him at Madison Square Garden, I mean, that was the place to see him. Jones Beach is crazy. $100 for very high seats. And see, you got to shop around for that. I went to see Mike Richter retire, the retirement game that the Rangers and the Wild played. Rangers lost, but I had to. My mother and I had to get tickets, and we had to get them from guy in the street, and we got great seats and great tickets. But that was back in 2004, February 2004. $500 a ticket is absolutely insane. Insane. I mean, and looking at the fans, like I said last week, the New York Rangers fans that used to be at the Garden. I mean, during the Cup run years, they were completely different fans than they are now. I mean, they don't even go crazy, nothing like that. Now it's like, I'm like, you're not watching a circus or a Richard Simmons video. I mean, this is the New York Rangers here. I mean, what happened? Greed happened. That's what happened. Elton John and Billy Joel. I think they did do a show together though. Oh no, that was Elton John and what's his name? George Michael. Elton John and George Michael did a show years ago. I don't think he ever did one with Billy Joel. Elton John. People ask on YouTube. There's plenty of videos on here if people should retire or not. McCartney's pushing 84, so I don't know if he should quit. He wants to keep the fans happy. I guess you want to do something until you can't do it anymore. So, who wants to stop living? Well, let's get down to the nitty gritty here. All right, some Christmas records that I love, and share definitely what you guys like. So we're going to start off. Put that right over there. I'm going to start off with an original copy of John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band. Uh, Happy Christmas War is Over from 1971. This was the original version that came out. It was always on green vinyl when it came out in 1971, but this is the original label that came out. It's an Apple label, but this was a custom label that they made back then. It was like John turning into Yoko, all the different pictures on it in black and white. But here's one that's Happy Christmas and on Apple with the Apple label and with the Happy Christmas um, jukebox strip in it, which I was able to get for a great price. I mean, these are records I bought a long time ago, a long time ago at many different shows, and it was like I don't know, $10 I'd pay for these things, $5, $6. Now that same thing would go for like 30 or 40. Um, a Charlie Brown Christmas book and record set. I bought this. Haven't played it, but I think it's a nice collectible. Second play, okay. It's a 1977 version of it. Um, it's probably like a shortened version of the Christmas of Charlie Brown Christmas. Here's Little Saint Nick, Beach Boys, original Capitol Records 45 from 1963, and has the Lord's Prayer on the B side. That wasn't on the Beach Boys Christmas album. It was on a reissued CD back in '91, but the Ultimate Christmas album that they put out in '98 left off the Lord's Prayer. But they do a great job, a great a cappella version of the Lord's Prayer. Here's a great song that I wound up finding on a promo copy. It's by Chris Squire and Alan White of the group Yes, and it's called "Run with the Fox." And if you guys can listen to this on YouTube, I mean, the lyrics are terrific. The music is great. This is the mono stereo promo of it, of the one song that I was able to get for a decent amount of money. Um, the real single was Run with the Fox, and the other side had Return of the Fox, which was the instrumental backing track. It was the same song with just the music, no vocals on it, which I could get online, but they want like $30 for it with the picture sleeve. So I'm like, maybe down the line if that goes down a little bit, I would go for that. But that's a great song. And here's the picture sleeve for A Happy Christmas War Is Over, and on Apple Records. Okay, the picture sleeve, what everybody that was involved. It's John, and Yoko, the Plastic Ono Band, with the Harlem Community Choir singing in the background. The Lord's Prayer makes it very collectible, yeah, because it wasn't on an album. They didn't put it on an album. It's not always a green apple, Whitney. Sometimes it depends. On the John Lennon Imagine album, it was a white apple. And Paul McCartney's albums in the beginning, the original, his first album, McCartney, was on a green apple. Ram was on a green apple. But there were albums after that were custom labels. Like there would be pictures of the group on the label on albums and singles, but it would just say an Apple record. Like he wouldn't put the Apple on it because Apple was screwing him out of money at the time. Because he was living like a very pedestrian life in the early '70s with his new family, because Apple had all his assets frozen. I mean, he had a lot of money, but it was frozen in the record company. So that's why when he was in Scotland, they would be making beds out of potato boxes and just put mattresses on them, and he'd be sitting with the baby, with the kids like that. That's how they had to live at the time until his assets were available to him. So that was, from going to be a Beatle to a solo career and having to do that in the beginning, like live a very domesticated life, was very hard for him in the beginning. Yeah, well, now labels would be scared to do anything religious. Well, let me tell you something about the Charlie Brown Christmas. Something different about the Charlie Brown Christmas. If you watch the episode where Linus is telling the story about Christmas and what Christmas really is all about, they originally weren't going to put that in, and that was 1965, and it was a 48-second part of the show of the special, and he's standing there with the spotlight on him. And if you watch when he says the part "Fear not," he drops his blanket, like he doesn't hold on to his blanket the entire time, like he can put his security down, like he could put his trust in the Lord, you know, that he doesn't need that, that somebody's going to be taking care, that the Lord will be taking care of them. So that's not something I noticed until somebody brought it up, and I've watched the Charlie Brown Christmas special for years. But they didn't originally want to put that whole story about Christmas in there. They said to Charles Schultz, "We don't want to put religion in there." He says, "Well, if you don't do it, we don't do it at all. We're not putting on the special. We're not doing it if you don't add it, if you don't include it, not add it." It was put that way, but CBS balked at the idea and said, "Oh, I don't know." But even in 1965, they were a little hesitant about that. So that's about that. I have to watch that because I haven't watched it this year. I hate that other faiths can have their faith broadcasted, but for Christianity, it seems so taboo. Well, yeah, it does. It does. And another thing is, you can't even watch the Peanut specials on regular TV anymore. They're on Apple TV. They're not available anymore. To a layperson's cable station. They were on CBS for how many years? And I think that the Christmas special was on CBS for 27 years, and then on ABC for 19 years. Even though ABC completely cut the shit up. Sorry, it cut the special up completely. I mean, if you don't have the version on the DVD, you don't have the real version. Um, the only thing that's missing is the commercials in the beginning for Coca Cola. I wish they would have added that onto the Charlie Brown Christmas DVD, the Blu-ray. That they would have added it, or at least put it as a bonus feature. Because there's a part in the beginning where Snoopy takes the blanket, when they're all skating around, and he swings Charlie Brown around, and he falls under a tree, and the snow goes on top of him, and then the other half of it is supposed to be Linus getting thrown, and he lands to a Coca-Cola machine, and it says from the people that bottle Coca-Cola. That was the sponsor at the time. So when Charlie Brown complains that Christmas was getting too commercial, I mean Coca-Cola sponsored the show. So there's still commercialism there. I think it was always there, but nobody really made a big deal about it then. I think it was still about the holiday was more about, yeah, Snoopy Red Baron song. Yes, yes. Yeah. And you know what? I think I got that here in the collection. Just bear with me a minute. Well, here's the original Dominic the Donkey 45. I had such a time looking for this record. It plays okay. I don't play it all of the time. There's a lot of surface noise on it, but it doesn't skip. So until one day I might find another one, but I'm not looking right now. So one day I might find it again. Let me see if I have that one in here. I usually do. I usually have the Snoopy versus the Red Baron song. Well, I have it. Not that I usually have it, but I have it. Yes, here it is. Snoopy's Christmas. That's the original 45 with It Kinda Looks Like Christmas on the B-side by the Royal Guardsmen. Yeah, that donkey is so popular now. A lot of people don't like the, well, you know what? There's people out there. There's people out. Thank you, Whitney. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, there's so many people out there with the worst Christmas songs now, and one of them is Dominic the Donkey. Another one is Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. I'm like, I don't know where the hate came for the songs. I don't know. Everybody is starting to like re-listen to these songs. It's like, oh, you really think you know what they're singing about? And what about a donkey that talks Italian? I'm like, It's a song. That's what it is. It's supposed to, I've been listening to that for years. I learned a lot of Christmas songs from memories from me, my dad, and myself going to pick up my grandparents for Christmas. And we listened to CBS FM or whatever station it was on. And he would say to me, "Did you ever hear this Christmas song? Did you ever hear this one?" And a lot of them were like funny novelty songs. But yeah, working in retail, I have the right to hate the songs. Yeah, I get it. But if these songs, particular songs, were on rotation, the ones I have, I don't think you'd be disappointed. I really don't. Because when I was at my last job, Christmas time was I couldn't wait to go home. I mean, it was like we had great Christmas parties when I first started working there, but after a while, it was just like a food day. That's all it was. But on radio, all you heard every other rotation was "All I Want for Christmas Is You." That's it. That and Last Christmas. I'm like, are you kidding? Really? Yeah. You want a bigger rotation. So would I. I'm so glad there's no radio at my job right now. That there isn't. There's not going to be. It's so quiet now compared to what I was doing. I could not concentrate on my work. I mean, it was 100.7. That's the name of the station out of Pennsylvania. At Christmas time, they start November 14th. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do November 14th. No. I start my Christmas songs December 1st. That's when I start. And that's when Macy's department store starts playing Christmas music the first day of December. That's it. You know, seeing Christmas decorations and lights on the houses as a kid. When I used to drive around, my father used to drive me around the neighborhood, and we used to look at the Christmas lights on the houses. You know, it was really nice to do that. Now they have, you're going to drive up to Route 22 and see all the Christmas lights, and I'm like, that doesn't amaze me. It doesn't. It's like I'm not going to drive on Route 22 like I do every day just to see Christmas lights. You know, I start December 1st too early. Seems rushed. That's right. Yeah. I mean, December comes so fast, and it's like you think you have to celebrate a certain day. That's the way I was the last couple of years. People put up the Christmas decorations like the 16th to the 17th. Some people put up the Christmas tree Thanksgiving Day. It's like, I guess if you got a lot to do and you got your families and everything, then it's got to get done early. But oh, that's good. The Jones Beach, yeah, Jones Beach. That's something I would like to see. That's something I would like to see, Whitney. Yeah. You're right, Allie. Retail is a whole different beast. It is. It is. They play like the worst versions of Santa Claus is coming to town. You know, I mean, here's my favorite version. Well, I like the Beach Boys version of it, and I love the version that's on the Phil Spector Christmas album, which I could show you guys in a minute or two. This is Santa Claus. Santa Claus is coming to town, but this is the single. The single was "My Hometown" by Bruce Springsteen. The other side was Santa Claus is coming to town. It's a live Santa Claus is coming to town version by Springsteen is a live version from December 12th, 1975, when he played CW Post College, when he was just starting, really. Not starting. I mean, he had a couple albums out by 1973. Greetings from Asbury Park, Wildly Innocent, and E Street Shuffle. But 75, I mean, the place went crazy. And I really I love his version a lot. I mean, forget what he talks about, forget what he is. I listen to the music. That's what it is. I want to listen to the music before all the crap started. You know, that's where it's at. My mother, like, bless her heart, she says to me, "Press play." That's all you got to do. And that's all I want to do. She says, "Press play." We know about the shit that happened behind the scenes, but that's getting boring now. I'm like, oh, you know what happened to him, and they're human beings. Everything happens to everybody at a different time in their lives. So the United Nations should ban Mariah Carey from singing holiday music. Yeah, Whitney, I would think so too. I mean, she self-proclaims to be the queen of Christmas. I can't believe that. That's like Dallas Cowboys calling themselves America's team. Who is she to say she's the queen of Christmas? If you're religious or spiritual or a Christian, the only queen of Christmas is the Virgin Mary. That's it. She thinks she's the queen of Christmas. The Holy Mother. That's right. The Holy Mother. That's it. I mean, you could go on any different social media thing like Instagram, TikTok. I don't touch TikTok at all. I mean, Instagram once in a while because people message me on there, but they could start going with who the do you believe in God and all this and all that. It's all opinions, but it's just like if you're an atheist or an agnostic, you're welcome in my house. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, you're welcome in my house. You know, creed, race, color, gender, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's Christmas time, but I feel like this anyway. I've met so many different people in my life, and just to talk to them is always nice. You get an opinion about something. Some people, that if they're atheists or agnostics or Buddhists, I've read Buddhism. I think it's very interesting. I've read the Tao, which means the way. And it's very interesting. I'm not going to say, oh, Buddhism is a bunch of hoo-ha. No, I've read it because you want to expand your mind. There's no book that's not going to be that what's the word, valuable to you. You know, there was one guy when I read his digest every once in a while. I used to read it a lot, but Reader's Digest, they always had quotable quotes, and I don't remember the guy who said it, but he said every book is a self-help book. When they say self-help books, every book is a self-help book because you help yourself to new knowledge of something that you didn't know. You don't know everything until you read. Not everything. I mean, nobody knows everything, but you learn a lot. And another quote from Oprah Winfrey I liked. I wasn't a fan of her show. In the beginning, I kind of watched it because of her guests. But one quote that she had I liked was, "You can have everything. You just can't have it all at once." And I believe that. And also, there was a Peanuts strip once when they're all waiting for the bus and they're all talking to each other, asking different questions. Charlie Brown says, if you get everything you want in the world, is it really worth it? I say yes if you worked for it and you earned it and you're a good person. Then yeah. Yeah. If you're a sincere person, you work hard, you work as best you can, you try to be the best person that you can, then yes, I think that it's worth it while you're here, you know. Christ is for me, but I love everyone and whatever you choose that helps you spiritually, good for you, happy for you truly. Right. Right. As long as it's healthy for you and healthy for other people. Don't want to see you get into any kind of trouble. That's it. Because there are people out there that believe certain, I mean, Christian Science people. I mean, I don't have a problem with them. The only thing is, we don't want our beliefs to be changed. If you want to be yourself, you can learn something. I met different people in different religions that had their own religion. They had their own thing. They had their services in a firehouse. I learned. It was Christian, but there were things they didn't believe in. There were things that put them off, and it's like, okay. My theory is the reason you can't understand what the parents say in Charlie Brown is because of the saying, "From the mouth of babies, children speak the truth." Right? Yeah. Well, the character of Sally in Charlie Brown Christmas, she was only 6 years old, the voice actor. So they had to, she had to have her headphones on and they had to feed every word to her. And that's how she said it. That's why she talks the way she does. The child actress was only 6 and she couldn't read. So they fed it to her, like each word. I mean, that's the way you did things back then. Now with all the technology, how you could do things, but back then in 1965, you couldn't really you had to do what you had to do. There was no AI and all of that, and I really don't care for AI. I mean, you got to be original. Humans got to do stuff. You got to have your creativity is what you got to have from the heart. But here's another one that's always been a perennial favorite around my house, besides Little Saint Nick, of course, is "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree" by Brenda Lee. This is one of the finest records I've yet to hear this year, and because I'm not around the radio, so try to spin as much as I can right around the Christmas holiday. Um, this is on Decca, the Decca label. There's one in here. I think I have it in here. Meaning of Christmas, Calypso Noel. What am I looking for? Yeah, what am I looking for? I know what I'm looking for. Of course, here's Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms on Decca. Another great one. I love it. And here's Jingle Bell Rock on the original black label, Decca. Back, when I shopped, you could always find these. The Christmas Song by Nat King Cole on 45. Then, of course, there's Father Christmas by the Kinks. Father Christmas, give us some money. Hey, Bill. Hey, what a Christmas present. Hey, I'm glad you made it tonight. Merry Christmas, Bill. How you been? Talk to me. We got it. We got to try. And Nat King Cole, Brazilian Love Song. Yeah, yeah. I used to have a lot of his albums, and I donated them. But I had a lot of his records. But of course, I love the Christmas album. That's one of his greatest things that he did. But he was the man, Nat King Cole. There was the Nat King Cole trio, and then he went solo after that. But Father Christmas by the Kinks. Oh, here we go. Love it. This is a Pink radio station copy of "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree" by Brenda Lee. It's a radio station copy. It's a promo on a Pink label. And here's all of the jukebox strips that I found with it. Christmas time in New York is a staple in our house. Okay. Then there's Ray Stevens. Santa Claus is watching you. It's a funny song. This is the guy that brought you to Streak in 1974, but this is much earlier. Santa Claus is watching you. Oh my. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Because Santa Claus is watching you. See, we got Clyde the Cam. Here's a copy of Little Saint Nick and The Lord's Prayer on a Capital Purple label. It's a reissue on Starline. I always like finding different pressings, different labels. Let's see here, my bag of tricks. We got a single here that from the Beach Boys. Remember the song, the lyrics, rust and smoke, the heaters broke, the door just blew away. It was to the tune of Jingle Bell. I might have heard that, Bill. Yeah, my renter's insurance. Yeah, I have renter's insurance. So yeah, I have that. Yeah, renter's insurance. I have that covers everything. That's a good question. I should probably call Allstate about that with the renter's insurance. That's a good question. Here's a Christmas single that came out in 1974. It's the Beach Boys' "Child of Winter," also known as Christmas song. Any good products for album upkeep? Sleeves? Yeah, I'll show you. Here's what I use. I use these. If I have an original album and it has the original sleeve that came with it, what I do is I take the record out of that sleeve and put it into one of these dust-free sleeves, and then put the original sleeve behind behind it inside a poly bag. This is an LP poly bag. That's for the outside to keep them nice, keep them from getting get acid getting in there and things like that. So that's what I use. That's what I use, and I get them. I get them like it depends. I don't because if I'm not buying that many records now, I would get like maybe 25 count. You could get them on eBay cheap. So just shop around, because eBay usually sells these. Not usually, they do. They're all over eBay, and it's free shipping normally. They always give you like 10 count, 15 count. Depends on how many you have, and I have so much, but it's all it's all all preference. Depends on how many albums you have, because it's like if I think like a poly bag I have on something is too old, I'll replace it with a new one. That's how I do that. That's how I upkeep the LPs. 45s, I do the same thing with. See, like here's a green vinyl reissue copy of "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree," and see what I did is that it came inside this cardboard sleeve, but instead of keeping it in the cardboard sleeve, I put it in a white sleeve. I keep it clean. This is a cardboard reissue that I bought online. I think it was last year. Maybe I bought it. Oh, the single I was saying before was the "Child of Winter," the Beach Boys Christmas song. This came out in 1974, but a lot of the Beach Boys fans or music fans had no idea that this single was out because number one, it was recorded November of 1974. November 23rd, 1970, like Thanksgiving weekend or Thanksgiving week. And it wasn't in the record stores until December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. That's when they released it. So nobody knew about it. Nobody found it. So the promo copies are easy to find. The one that you got in the store with Susie Cincinnati on the B side is harder. I have not seen one with Susie Cincinnati on the B side. So this is a mono stereo promo of this record. It's a great record. It's almost like a medley of Child of Winter and Here Comes Santa Claus. So I always like that. It's one of my favorites every year to listen to. And of course we got the perennial, my favorite, Wonderful Christmas Time. I think that this is probably, I love Little Saint Nick and I love Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, but I think this is going to be my all-time favorite Christmas record as I look back on it. Is Wonderful Christmas Time on Columbia Records. So the other side is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae, which is a reggae version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's an instrumental. It's nice. Quirky Christmas, But I remember listening to Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time. It was a Casey Kasem show, Top 10 Christmas. They showed all of the films of all the songs, like they showed the Chipmunk song, the cartoon film of David Seville with the reggae. Have I ever thought about any of them getting CCG graded and sealed? No, I never did. No, I don't grade my records. No, I just know if they're good when I buy them, and I'll go, okay, that's a very good copy. I know about the grading of it. It's like you could never really call a record mint because mint doesn't exist. Even if it's a sealed record, you don't know what the record looks like inside. Because the sleeve could have the cover itself could have a cutout in it or a punch hole because it could be a promo. Because sometimes they ship so much to the record store, but the record store can only sell so much. So that's why they would be punch holes. They would be cutouts. Punch holes normally would mean promo. But if I had a slit on it, slash off the corner of the cover, that would be a cutout. That's like because we're pricing these records so cheap. Oh, Whitney, should it be reggae? I'm sorry, not reggae. Reggae, not reggae. Sorry, New York. Reggae. Okay. I just try to accentuate the reggae. Like try to get it. New York Rangers Christmas tree. I don't know if it preserved the batteries. So what other goodies have I got here? Okay. Here is a. Thank you, Whitney. Thank you. I'm glad I got. I'm so glad I like it. Here's Wonderful Christmas Time on red vinyl. And it was a jukebox, 45. Because it says on the label for jukeboxes only. But they re-released it as Paul McCartney and Wings, which really it is. Yeah, I had Bill. Yeah, I have it. I just had it before. I dropped my sleeves. Hold on. I think I do have it. I have it here. Did I put it back? I gotta see if I did or not. Hang on, guys. I'm looking for the record for Bill. see here. I had it. Where is it? Let's see here. I know I had it here. I know I had that 45 here. Let's see. Huh. I know I had it. Let's see here. Let me see where I put it. What did I do with that one? That's funny. Bill, here you are. Snoopy's Christmas. Yep, Snoopy's Christmas right there on Laurie Records, 1967. Elvis Christmas songs, yeah, yeah. Okay, Whitney, we'll wait for you. Yeah, yeah, I have Elvis's. Yeah, I have a reissue. Um, a reissue on 45. Santa Claus is back in town, and Merry Christmas, Baby on reissued green vinyl. That was originally from his first Christmas album, just called Elvis's Christmas album. That goes in there. Let's not forget Bob and Doug McKenzie's 12 Days of Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a beer. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 French toasts and a beer. No, there's got to be more than that. Got to be more than that. And a beer in a tree. Take off. Here's another one that's always been a favorite of mine. I have this on CD. It's always nice to hear. Andy Williams' Christmas album. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. It's the holiday season. And it's the most wonderful time of the year. The holiday season. And this is it. This is a classic. I heard this a lot in my family as a kid. Merry Christmas by Johnny Mathis. This is an alternate cover, actually. There's one of him sitting down with the ski poles. Perry Como, yeah, I don't have Perry Como. It's probably the only one I don't have. But here's a classic, of course. Merry Christmas by Bing on Decca. This is like a 1960s copy because it says stereo. But since this album originally came out in 1955, actually, the song I think by him came out in 1947. Merry Christmas, which has been reissued as White Christmas on CD. But this is one of the originals. It's like a 60s copy on Decca. And it's not real stereo either. It's just a mono version, like into fake stereo, if you will, like electronically processed and simulated. So, and here's another one of my favorites, of course, the Christmas song, Nat King Cole. This covers in shrink wrap. Um, see, I can get out of here. Okay. Yeah, and this is the gold record award version because so many copies of this was sold. Uh, the original album was called "The Meaning of Christmas," and I have that one too. And it didn't have the Christmas song on it. It had "God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen" instead on it. But when the Christmas song took off, they made it. They made the album in 1961. And this is a copy on the Green Capital label, lime green. I'd say this is around 69, 68, 69. I always love collecting different variations too. Did I ever hear Alan Sherman's "God Rest Ye Jerry Mendelbaum"? No, I haven't. I haven't heard that one. No. Is it hilarious? Yeah, okay. Here's the Beatles' Christmas album. It's a reissued album of all of their Christmas messages they did to their fans between 1963 and 1969. And in 1970, they released this to the fan club members only in 1970. So it's all their Christmas messages between 63 and 69. And this one specifically, I think it's so stuck in there though sometimes. It's on red vinyl. And they're all just taken from the singles themselves. It's like they didn't remaster it at all or anything like that. So putting that in a better sleeve to get that. And here's the original version of Johnny Mathis's "Merry Christmas" of him standing up with the ski poles. This is the 1958 album that he did in stereo with the original RCA sleeve stuck in the back. And this is on an original Columbia 6i label, an original copy. My mom had an original copy, and it was a mono copy from 1958, and it was played to bits. I mean, I heard it. I heard it every year, every year. Demonstration not for sale, stamped on it. And here's one of my favorites. Ray Conniff, "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." I think it's one of the best Christmas albums. I mean, I don't have anything by Ray Conniff like that he did with anything else, but I think this is one of the best Christmas albums. He had like three of them, and I have all three of them. "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." The first one was called "Christmas with Conniff," and Christmas with Conniff was '59. This one was 1962, and Here We Come a Caroling was 1965, and that was the last Christmas album that they did. So that's that for that. And I have a few others. I know we like Perry, and we know we like Bing Crosby, but how about Dean? Dean Martin Christmas album in stereo. The best version of it's a Marshmallow World. Well, I love a lot of other versions of it. I love the Phil Spector version of it. Um, All I Want for Christmas by Jackie Gleason. This was a compilation of two Christmas albums that he put out. One in 1956 and the other in 1967. One was called Merry Christmas, Jackie Gleason, and the other one was called "'Tis the Season." And they're two albums, but they're edited. It's just two complete albums, but the songs were like 12 each, and there were only 10 each on here. So when they say two complete albums, you know. Here's Elvis Sings the Wonderful World of Christmas. This one was 1971. It originally came with a Christmas card. I have the one with the Christmas card, but it gets moved around in my room every year. So I have the original one, and this is a really good one. This is his version of Silver Bells is on here. He's on here with. Is he on here with the Jordanaires? I'm not sure who he's with on here. The Imperials Quartet at this point, not the Jordanaires. It was the Imperials Quartet that he was with at the time. But it's a really good Christmas album. It really is. Here's just a compilation of different uh or artists, different jazz artists on Jingle Bell Jazz. This is all different. Miles Davis is on here. Uh, Pony Poindexter, Duke Ellington, Carmen McRae, Lionel Hampton, Paul Horn, Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, Dave Brubeck. A lot of heavy hitters on that jazz album, let me tell you. And I know a lot of us remember this one. Do They Know It's Christmas? This is the original 12-inch version with the whole Feed the World. And then you had the regular, the two different versions of the song on here. I liked it. I like Do They Know It's Christmas? There's other people these days that just have a different opinion about it. Here's the Jackie Gleason 1967 album, "'Tis the Season." This is the original one, in shrink wrap from 1967, and this is a stereo copy. And I heard that it was released in mono, but I've never seen a mono copy of this. I mean, if anybody knows where it is, show it to me because I've never seen a mono copy of "'Tis the Season" by Jackie Gleason. And here's a favorite in my family, of course. Every year I would hear this: the Beach Boys Christmas album from 1964. Has the original Capitol sleeve with it. It's one of my favorites. I mean, we heard a lot of it. I heard a lot of it as a kid. It was really, really good. And who could forget on Decca Records, "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas" by Burl Ives. A very good Christmas record. He does a great version of the Little Drummer Boy. It's acoustic. It's really, really nice. But I love this, of course, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer every year. So The Christmas Spirit, Johnny Cash. This is a good one too. It's very good. It's very nice. Here's another Ray Conniff, "Wish You a Merry Christmas." This is mono. I'm not sure if this is a 6i label. It might be. It's in the shrink wrap. I'm not sure if it is. No, it's a 2Y label. Guaranteed high fidelity, non-breakable. One of my favorites. I hope all of you are enjoying this video tonight, and I really thank everybody for showing up. Just a few more to show, and then I think I'm going to shut it down. So we're going to come to quite to the end of this pretty soon. Here's a great one, a Christmas gift for you from Phil Les Records. Later on, it was known as the Phil Spector Christmas album. Yeah, well, it's Bill. It's great to see you again, man. In the new year, if we could possibly meet up for lunch, I really would like to see you. I really would like to stay in touch and say hello, if that's good for you, because I miss you. All great times we had, and if it's great, if it's good for you, just let me know and we'll figure something out. Because I know we had a lot of fun, and don't forget to watch The Honeymooners Christmas. But he didn't tell her it came from the Emperor of Japan's house. The 2,000 matchsticks that were glued together. The secret compartment to keep the hairpins in. Alice, you got a couple onions? What do you think this is? A grocery store? This is a 1964 copy of an album that came out in 1963. A Christmas gift for you. You live right across the street from Spin Me Round? Huh? That's nothing. That's fine. I mean, we can meet there. Yeah. We can meet anywhere you want for lunch. If you want to do that, whenever you can. I know the holidays are coming up here, the Christmas and New Year's, but we could probably do that. Yeah. You live spin me around, that's not a problem. I know exactly where that is. That's great. And one I've heard over the last couple of years that I really like is Christmas is Percy Fate. I really like this album. It's really good. Very nice music. It's really nice. I love it. Here's an alternate copy of Phil Spector's Christmas album. Even though it says okay. Yeah. You know what, Bill? I really don't go to Spin Me Around that much. I mean, I could meet you there if you want, and we could go inside and look around. I'm not much in the market for buying right now, but I mean, we can meet there and eat something in the mall if you want. I mean, that's fine. We could do that. Yeah. Because I work from 7 to 3:15, so you could do it on a weekend, something like that. When you got free time. So this is a Christmas album that's on the Warner Brothers label. It's just a reissue, and even though it says authentic mono on it, it plays in true stereo. So this is like the one of the ways you could get the album in true stereo, because most of the copies were released in mono. Here's an alternate version of a Holly Jolly Sinatra Christmas, the Sinatra Christmas album. This is a second press of it. Yep, a Jolly Christmas from Frank Sinatra. That's what it was called, the Jolly Christmas. Oh, this was in there. Gotta put this in a regular sleeve. And here's a copy from 1955 of Merry Christmas by Bing Crosby. This is the original. This is the early Decca label. It's always one of my. It's always one of my favorites. He does. I mean, he might be the ultimate version of White Christmas. I love the Drifters version too. But I think Bing Crosby is like the warmest version of it. I think it's the ultimate version of it. So, well, guys, I'm gonna shut it down for now. It's 10 after 9, so I want everybody to get like a good night's sleep, and have a great weekend, and don't rush around so much. Just take it easy on yourselves. I'm taking it easy on myself. Definitely this year. So I hope you guys liked this video. I thank everybody for showing up tonight and for joining me, because it's always a pleasure to do these videos for you. If you like my channel, subscribe. You could share it. Tell people that I normally do possibly not next Friday. We'll see. But I wanted to get a Christmas one in, that's for sure. Good night, Nicole. Thanks for showing up. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for everybody for showing up tonight. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, a very safe Christmas, a very safe holiday with your loved ones, friends, family. Just enjoy yourselves. Don't put so much pressure on yourself with gifts and food and all of that. Just enjoy it for what it is. Okay? Have Christmas your way. So I say good night. God bless. Merry Christmas and much love. Take care of yourselves. Good night.